Hi, this is the skater and decorator here. Today I'm going to be painting a Welsh themed mural for Gower College, Swansea. So here I'm just packing up all my paint, ready for the day. Load them up into my little trolley and take them into the college. Checking out the wall. First glance, there's a big pillar in the middle of the wall, but that should be okay to blend it in around it. I'm just taping up the ceiling and the floor to avoid any overspray and any mess. I've recently started using these disposable plastic dust sheets for the floor. These save me a lot of time. I recommend these a lot. Here I'm painting my doodle grid. This always confuses people and spins people out, but a doodle grid is basically just a technique that allows you to put your sketch onto the wall and keep everything into proportion. So I start with a can of black to do my sketch, and also to fill in any really dark shades, like shadows. So get my sketch done and all the dark bits, and then I go in with the darker shade of red and start filling that in first. Once I've finished filling in the dark shade, I'll start adding all my highlights, working from dark to light. So just more filling in here. So it's starting to take shape now. I'm just going back over the black to get rid of any overspray and add any more shadows before I do the lighter shades and the highlights. So here I'm doing the sky. I'm using 4 shades of blue for the sky. I'm fading them all in, hopefully, and get a seamless fade. And the reason I'm doing the sky before doing the highlights on the dragon is just because any overspray will be covered by the highlights then. So here I'm doing the clouds. I'm pretty happy with how these clouds came out. Clouds can be hit or miss for me, but I'm pretty stoked on these. I start with a shade of grey and then work my way up all the way to white as the final highlights on the clouds. Here I'm using a lighter shade of red to add highlights to the body of the dragon. I started trying to get a bit creative and have a bit of fun with the movement of the lines when I'm painting on this body. Yeah, so just highlighting the edge of all the scales and all the dark lines. You can really see the dragon starting to take shape now and the highlights doing what they're meant to do and making it look more 3D. Yeah, so now I'm painting the lightest highlight, which is obviously the white shade. This should really give a shine effect and make it pop more. Here I start to add the sea. I tape off the top level of the sea and start adding lighter shades to add highlights again. Here I'm incorporating a local landmark into the mural. The landmark is Free Cliffs from Free Cliffs Bay in Swansea. It's a very famous beach and beautiful beach. You should check it out if you get the chance. Just adding the highlights to the edge of the cliffs there where the water meets the cliffs. So now it's time to add the flames and the fire. This is one of the parts I was looking forward to painting the most because I get to have a bit more fun with it and be a bit more expressive with my lines, and I don't know, just freestyle a bit and have a bit more fun. So here's a well-needed coffee break I had. The sun was shining. Back to the flames, adding the lighter shade of yellow and then eventually a bit of white. I quickly added some daffodils in the corner then, another Welsh icon. I'm just adding the eye here, the same way I've done with everything else, starting with dark to light. A lot of the time when I paint a portrait of a human or an animal, I often save the eye to last, and it's mad how much of a difference it makes. So here I started painting the teeth. I started with a really dark shade of yellow, which almost looked like a gold, which I was quite unsure of at the time, but then when I started to add the highlights, I felt like it worked really well and went less goldy looking and more stained, teethy looking. So just adding the lighter shades here, and I went over with a transparent black just to make it, to add some of the dark tones again, make it a bit more 3D. So here the mural is basically done. There's Free Cliffs Bay and the flames and the dragon and the daffodils and the sky. Pretty happy with how this all turned out. I've just got to add some Welsh words into the fire here. If anyone knows what these words translate to, please let me know because I haven't got a clue. So I was freestyled these letters. It was a bit nerve-wracking because if I made a mistake, it would have been hard to amend with all the flames behind them, but pretty stoked how they came out. Made them look really fiery. I also added some some highlights into the writing too to make them look like they're almost glowing. Here's a little snippet of that. So then I cut a stencil for the title. The stencil is in Welsh and it translates to use your Welsh, as the purpose of the mural is to encourage people to be proud of being Welsh and to speak Welsh. So yeah, I went in with a dark blue just to blend into the sky, and I just added some highlights and lowlights with transparent black and white to give it a bit of a shadow. So here I'm packing up, all done. Pretty stoked with how it came out. Use your Welsh. Three Cliffs Bay. Little shot of the detail. "3D teeth, flames." There's those letters. Pretty stoked with the shadow, the daffodils. The clouds again. Yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you like it, let me know. If you want anything painted, let me know. And yeah, cheers. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully more to come.